And Susan, why don't you greet us and then
Sure.
over to Dave.
Once again, good evening, everybody. It's great to see there's quite a number of people on here, so that's really, really nice to see. And unlike some of you, I think it's a lovely evening outside. So looking forward to hearing what kind of a day everybody had today. So I will turn it over to Dave.
Okay, Susan, thank you. So like I said before, I've got I guess 18 areas to go through here, so I'll try and do it fast. I will try and let anybody in those areas, I guess, do their own report if they're there. If not, I was out to the Marsh, picked up everybody, I guess, results, so I have them. So I guess we can read them if I guess nobody's there. So the first area was the Marsh, and Mac, I don't know if you have a list of what you've seen, or?
I do.
Okay, then I'll just let you read yours then, please.
Sure. So this morning we started out just after 7:30. I went out with Jen Peltier, one of the other naturalists. So it was nice. We got to chat a bit, catch up while we were out listening for some stuff. The busiest part, I'd say, were the feeders, where a good congregation of chickadees and goldfinches were hanging out. We did about 4 kilometers of walking, about 4.5. Yeah, 4.5 kilometers of walking throughout the trails, just around the main center area. So our total list ended up with a few species of waterfowl, 22 trumpeter swans, which I thought was a great number to see. We've got 9 Canada goose, so 27 mallard, a good amount of black ducks as well. So 11 black ducks were seen at the Swan Landing, which is the new name for the Swan Treatment Center, by the way, Swan Landing.
Oh,
Pun
sounds
intended.
nicer.
Yeah, pun intended, I guess.
Yeah.
So I had sent Jen down, well, Jen volunteered, I guess, to go down to the treatment center because we hadn't gotten anything other than trumpeter swans up until the time we got back. So while she was going down getting the mallards and black ducks, I had a pileated come to the feeder. So that was one of the highlights. Few mourning doves, hairy woodpeckers, decent amount of blue jays, some white-breasted nuthatches hanging around. But I guess the highlight would have been what I initially thought was some common redpolls. And after some discussion with a few other people, we decided that the ID was better fit for white-winged crossbills on these birds. So we had a group of 7 white-winged crossbills around sunrise this morning, right around 8 a.m. And song sparrow, I guess, is another kind of nice highlight to see. One of the only sparrows we got to see, and a couple of cardinals. So overall, nice morning. We got all our birding done before the snow came.
If I can interject just for a second, people might not know, but Jen Peltier is the daughter of Kathy Peltier, who is always at our meetings as a good member of our club as well.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mac. The second area, I'll just shout out, see if anybody, sorry?
Oh, sorry, aren't we part of the Marsh or no?
I have you as a bit of a, I guess, your own group this year, Judy, just because of the fact it was smaller. So I will certainly be getting to you later.
All right.
Okay, thank you. The second area was some walkers, and there was, I guess, Heather Gray Toner, Mary Skinner, and I guess Ruth Deeves. Are any of those people with us, or? No. Okay. So they had an area in Midland, from Yonge Street down to Bay, and from 4th to 8th. So I have their report, and I will have Liz read it if that's all right. Oh, okay. I guess I'm reading. Okay, they had I guess 4 blue jays. They had 10 starlings, 19 chickadees, 1 white-breasted nuthatch, 2 dark-eyed juncos, 1 downy woodpecker, 1 red-breasted nuthatch. Then they had 2 crows, 13 rock doves, and then they got gull species, so they just got 7. American goldfinch 18, and Well, I said that the one were rock doves, but they got pigeons. I can never keep track of what, because the name changes about every second year. But then they've got doves again for 3. So they had 12 species and a total of 81 birds.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I wonder if they mean rock doves and then mourning doves, Dave. I don't know.
Oh,
Prob-
yes.
yeah,
Yes,
probably.
yes, that's probably right, Ken. Yeah. Yeah, the doves would be mourning doves. Okay, good. Okay, area 3 is Susan. Unfortunately, I had to send Susan out by herself, so that was kind of
Oh, well.
but she, I guess she was driving, and she had from Highway 12 to Young Street, and then from 93 to King Street. So she would have had, like Smith's Camp in there, and various other streets off of Young. So I'll just let you do your report,
Sure.
Susan.
I was just gonna add up my total. I don't know if we need that or not, but, because I didn't do that, but I guess
Okay, I did that for you. It's 103.
you can, oh, so you've already got it. Wonderful. Good job. Okay, so, yeah, so I had a lonely drive and walk, but that was okay. It was easier to concentrate that way by myself. And I saw most of the usual suspects, and I'll just go through them quickly. Pigeons, AKA rock doves, there was 15. 17 mourning doves, 3 goldfinches, 19 chickadees, 8 blue jays, 6 crows, 2 cardinals, 31 starlings, 1 gull species, and I had 1 red-tailed hawk, which was hanging out at Walmart.
Oh, nice.
Did a little of its last-minute shopping, so that
Yeah.
was probably my most exciting find of the day today. But it was still nice to be out.
Great. Area 4 was Ashley and Bob. I'm not sure if Ashley's here or not. I guess not. Okay. She also had an area in Midland, and it was from Highway 12 to Bay Street, and then from King Street to the shoreline. So I will read what they did very well. They had like 27 species or something. So okay. So Canada geese, they had 27. I guess trumpeter swan 15, mallard 65, white-winged scotter 9, the common merganser 4, rock pigeons 101, mourning dove,
Wow.
Yeah.
mourning dove 88, ring-billed gull 3, sharp-shinned hawk 1, red-tailed hawk 1, downy woodpecker 1, I guess hairy woodpecker 3, I guess pileated 1, blue jay 26, American crow 8, I guess common raven 2, black-capped chickadees 42, white-breasted nuthatch 7, European starlings 150,
Wow.
okay, pine grosbeak 10, the common redpoll 12, American goldfinch 70, American tree sparrow 30, dark-eyed junco 11, northern cardinal 4, red-breasted mergansers 2, and double-crested, I guess cormorant 1.
Oh my God, I am green with envy.
Yeah.
The cormorant is quite a unique sighting for our area in the winter. And if people, just for a little entertainment value, I believe I have Ashley's eBird list, and I think I can share her photos, Dave. Would that be a good idea, do you think?
Sure, yeah.
I'll
Perfect.
give
Go
it a
ahead.
go
Yeah,
here.
go for it.
So I have a question. There's no ice there, or the ice is not fully in, is that right?
No, it's completely frozen.
So that's a lot of water birds, eh?
Yeah. Must have been open.
What do I have? I have to hide floating media. There we go. Okay. Are people seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so just let me figure this out. These are her pine grosbeaks.
Wow, you can see why they're there.
And it's funny, I'm pretty sure the tree that she's seeing them is one that I've often seen Bohemian waxwings and lots of other good birds before. You can see if they're very, what, is that a crabapple tree or,
Russell Street.
pardon?
It's
It's on
not a
Russell
crab
Street.
apple.
It looks like a crab apple.
I think it's more like a cherry of some kind.
Yeah, but it always has very heavy fruit this time of year. I'm surprised she didn't get an American robin there. There's usually one hanging around.
You know whereabouts on Russell Street it is, Ken?
Oh, I don't know my street names, but it's
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I guess it could be one end or the other.
it's down by where Cliff Rumney lives, I know.
That doesn't help. More north than south then probably.
It's almost those streets that kind of border on the old railroad trail.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen any male pine grosbeaks go by there, but all females are juvenile. Then let's see, I think I can find a, oh, who's that?
Piper.
That's my
No.
dog.
No.
That's Juno.
No.
She heard something in the back. What is it, girl?
And here's some more of her photos here. Piper is a new addition to the family, isn't it, Susan?
Juno is.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
Piper's already there. Yeah.
Okay, so here's her trumpeter swans doing a flyover.
What is it, sweetie?
Trumpeter swans. And these are the, okay, those are just mallards there, I think. These are the white-winged scoters she saw, which are a good bird to see when there's no actual water for them to land on.
Absolutely.
And of course, it would be, she'd have a better view of the ID marks on that bird through her binoculars than she's got in her camera here. But from her description there, you can see a little bit of the white wing patch on that, on these two. And that's about right for a white winged scoter. That's another white winged scoter. But you can see that the bay is pretty well complete ice right now.
Yeah.
More shots of the white winged scoters. This is her double crested cormorant. And again, it's not a great photo, but her description was right for, and it was just a flyover. It has nowhere to land anymore. Sharp-shinned hawk. Her red-tailed hawk. Red-tailed hawk again. That's a downy woodpecker. Downy woodpecker. Downy. American crow. And this was her raven. You can't see the tail too much there, but it's a little longer tail. I can always tell a little bit by the way they flap too. Like the ravens seem to have a much more leisurely flap than the crows, stronger. Black-capped chickadee. Some of her starlings. Goldfinch. Tree sparrow. And a cardinal in the dark. Okay, let's see if I'm going to stop sharing now. And we're back.
Okay,
Quick.
Wow.
so we're on to area 5, and I get Judy and Dan. This is your time to shine here. So we'll let you pick it up.
Drop down.
Barry?
Hello, Judy. Yeah, you're on, Judy.
So before it gets over with.
Right there.
Did we lose Judy and Dan?
Yes, looks like it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, then I will read their results. Okay,
Well,
so
why don't,
sorry.
Dave, I wonder if they've just disappeared for a second. Why don't we come back to them?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
But I thought I was there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Pat,
Can I add some to Sue? Because I think I was in her area.
is that Josie?
Yeah, you are Julie. Yeah.
Julie,
Yeah.
okay.
Would you want to add 4 chickadees at my feeder?
You can ask Dave. You can give the number to Dave. Sure.
Oh, okay.
It all helps.
Okay, I'll just
And there was something that I thought looked most like the winter the American goldfinch, but I saw some in the pictures you just showed that are still quite yellow. And mine, I had 4, and they're definitely not the chickadees, and I wasn't 100% sure of what they were. They had quite strong white streaks on the wings.
Sounds like it then.
So I thought it was the winter goldfinch. Okay,
so we'll move on then. I guess Paul and I guess Maureen Bell. Their area was, I guess, Tiny Township, and it was from County Road 6 to the shoreline, and concession 10 to concession 16. I don't think they're with us tonight, so I've got the results, so I'll read them. American goldfinch 28, I guess chickadee 19, blue jay 12, okay, pileated woodpecker 1, hairy woodpecker 2, snow buntings 70,
Wow.
mourning dove 14, American crow 6, northern cardinal 1, okay, ring-billed gull 3, white-breasted nuthatch 5, I guess common raven 1, house sparrow 2, starlings 30, and red-tailed hawk 1 for 15 species and 195 total. Okay, now I seen Don and Adrian there, so they're on next. They're group 7, and they were just I guess below where I guess Paul was. I just read they're County Road 6 to the shoreline and concession 6 to concession 10. So Don or Adrian, if you wouldn't mind reading your list, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
It was very slow at first. We started around 9 and it was really slow, and we were thinking we were not going to see much at all, and it wasn't snowing or anything, but then it picked up a bit. So we saw a huge flock of Canada geese. We think 235 right on the water in about the middle of our area. And then we saw 48 mourning doves, 22 pigeons, rock pigeons, 17 chickadees, 14 blue jays, a couple of ring-billed gulls, 4 crows, and 1 northern shrike. That was the most interesting one for us.
Great.
So it's 343 total, mostly because of the big flock of Canada geese and 8 species.
We also have a cormorant has stayed out here. It's been swimming around close to the front of the cottage for a long while. Now it's frozen and it's down under the little bridge into Wabashine. And it's here, I think, mostly because it doesn't look like it can fly. My guess is it's been shot. It probably has a damaged wing from hunting, because they're now allowed to hunt them with no, and so it's going to stay around. I guess it'll live until that water freezes over, and then it'll starve, which is really sad.
Or sometimes a coyote gets out in the ice and grabs them. But I've been watching another coyote when I go down to the Barrie waterfront. There's not a coyote, a cormorant. There's one cormorant there that seems to have a fishing bobber tangled in its wing.
Earlier this fall, we had a herring gull. Yeah, a herring gull out front, and it was limping. And overnight, it died in the front yard. And when I went and looked at it, it had fishing line all wrapped around one leg, and it was crippled then on that leg. The foot was actually turned in behind. So it looked like it probably starved to death too. It just couldn't get around quick enough to get enough food to eat. And it was really sad. Big, beautiful bird. And just there dead in the morning. Anyway.
Okay, on to group 8. This is Donna and Graham, and they were from County Road 6 to Highway 93 and Highway 27 to Bomb Beach Road. So that's the area they had. And I'll let Donna or Graham read it, please. Thank you.
Thanks, David. We also had our friend Paula Shepherd with us, thank goodness, because she knew how to identify some of the birds we didn't know. We met her at the Waverly gas station and looked across, and there were 16 blue jays to start us off. So that was kind of fun. And we saw 27 blue jays in all, 25 chickadees, 6 crows, yeah, that one count, 13 wild turkeys. We estimated 50 rock pigeons, 1 spot, 10 mourning doves, 1 hairy woodpecker, and then we had a delightful sighting of about 40 redpolls in 1 spot and saw 45 in all. There was a red-tailed hawk and what was that? Ragged-legged hawk. Does that sound right, Dave? Ken, I think.
A rough-legged hawk.
Rough-legged. Sorry, I didn't write it down on this sheet because Paula was still checking it out. I think she checked with you as well, Ken, because they were both in the one tree. The rough-legged hawk was there first, and then the red tail came and landed above, and you could just see how different they were through the binoculars. It was quite interesting to see.
One little tip with rough-legged, they even though they're a slightly bigger hawk, they're a lighter weight than the red tail. So the rough-legged often perch on the very top or the very lighter branches, as compared where they are. A red tail will look for a thicker branch to land on, but the rough-legged doesn't need much of a branch at all to land on.
Nice, thank you. And then we had 1 red-breasted nuthatch, 1 white-breasted nuthatch, and 7 American tree sparrows to round it up.
And you had 1 pileated as well, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not in this list. That's right. Our friend in Wybell phoned us later and she had seen it. She'd been talking about it earlier in the day when she walked with us. And yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Kate.
David, Susan just has a message from Judy Whittam.
I emailed Judy and Dan, and they said they've been trying to get back in, but they've lost internet connection.
Okay.
They've been having trouble with it, and they thought Rogers had corrected it this afternoon, but obviously not. So go ahead without us. And Dave, if you would please read our list.
Okay, then I'll go back to them right now. So they had the area around Wymarsh, but not in Wymarsh. So they were from Highway 12 down to I guess Elliott Side Road, and 27 over to about Vasey Road. So they did the outside of Wymarsh. So their count is I guess 2 mourning doves, 25 chickadees, 8 trumpeter swans, 1 red-breasted nuthatch, 1 white-breasted nuthatch, 3 pine grosbeaks, 1 downy woodpecker, 2 tree sparrows, 1 rough-legged hawk, 9 blue jays, 6 rock doves, 4 crows, and 1 pileated. Okay. So now, Kate, I'll let you present yours, please, if you would.
Okay, thanks. So I was the area east of where I live, east of Ore Lake. And it's mainly, it's very kind of forested and a lot of houses dotted, a lot more houses dotted into the forest than I actually expected, as we really paid attention to where we were driving around. Blue jays were predominant at first. They were the first birds we saw, and we saw a lot of them, a total of 52. Surprised that we didn't see a lot of goldfinches, only 7, 3 crows, 30 rock doves and 40 chickadees, 1 white-breasted nuthatch and 13 mourning doves. We were basically feeling that we weren't doing very well, and we were driving up the bottom end of Scarlet Line, and I looked over and I saw 4 wild turkeys, and I thought, well, I was pretty pleased with that. And then my husband, who doesn't watch birds, actually looked further beyond, and in the next field over, there were another 20. So we were pretty excited to see them. But while I've been driving around, I met some birders and I deputized them to keep an eye on their feeders because some of them told me some stories of great birds that they'd seen. So I had 3 different people who I checked in with later in the day, and that put I would say my total would have been about 100 and something, and it went up to 230. And the best sighting I feel was 26 evening grosbeaks, and that was in an area where about 3 years ago I'd been doing a Christmas bird count with some people, and we saw that number of evening grosbeaks in that area. And so I wasn't too surprised that she said she got them every year. So there were 2 ladies who reported a few different things, and then one lady, her name is Karen Lynn on the 5th line of Oromodanti. And I'll just give you her total because it was kind of neat. She had 2 white-throated sparrow, 1 downy woodpecker, 1 hairy woodpecker, the evening grosbeak, 6 house sparrows, 4 American tree sparrows. She had a lot of blue jays, 25. She had 1 pine grosbeak and 2 red-bellied woodpecker and 16 chickadees. And so those brought my woodpecker totals up to 1 downy, 5 hairy, and those are the main.
She had those all in one day, Kate?
Yeah.
In one day she got all, wow.
Just today.
Today, must be nice.
Yeah, I talked to her because I saw quite a lot of activity around her house. And so I stopped to try and get a bead on where it was all happening. And her feeder is, you can't see it from the road. And then she and her husband arrived and we started chatting and she said, oh yeah, I get this and I get that. And I thought, well, she's obviously knows what she's doing.
Wow.
And so I said, well, will you keep an eye out and make a note of everything? And I'll phone you later.
She must have gourmet food, eh?
Yeah,
really tasty.
But the grosbeaks, I think, are a fixture in that area every winter by the sound of things.
Nice.
Okay, thank you, Kate. Now, I guess Kathy Bissell. She already reported her area. It's from Old Fort Road to about Rosemount Road and Highway 12 to Vasey Road. So Kathy, I'll let you give your report, please.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, we went directly to the Weimarsh with our sheet before we went home. I have not recorded it, and I would hate to rely on my memory. So if you have it there, it's probably best that you read it.
Okay, you had 28 blue jays, you had 46 black-capped chickadees, 3 white-breasted nuthatch, 5 American crow, 2 northern cardinals, 20 snow buntings, and 1 downy woodpecker. So 105 individuals and 7 species.
And truth be told, the 20 snow buntings were not ones that Brian and I actually saw. As we had slowed down to check out a feeder, a woman came by walking her dog and was curious about what we were doing. We told her, and she said, "Oh, just down the road, I just saw about 20 snow buntings." And I said, "What do they look like?" And she said, "They're white and they fly in a big flock." I said, "Yeah, I think that's probably right. So
yeah,
why not add them to the group?"
Sure, sounds great. Okay, I guess Jim Charlebois, who I don't think is on. I guess him and his wife did an area in the northern part of our area. It's let me see if I got this. It's from about County Road 6 to Highway 93, and then Concession 16 to Bomb Beach Road. So that's kind of his area. And then there was another lady that called me this week about Wednesday or Thursday. Was interested in maybe taking part, but of course at that point, I wasn't able to, add her to a group. But she owns about 40 acres, sort of around Bomb Beach area and I guess Wilson Road area. Her name is, I guess, Judy Thomas. So after I guess read Jim's, I guess she phoned today and I guess left a message with what she's seen. So we'll have to check Jim's sheet to see if I can add hers. But so okay, for Jim, he's seen 29 mourning doves. He's got 7 seagulls, 1 white-breasted nuthatch, 5 northern cardinals, 4 crows, 51 chickadees, 63 pigeons, 4 junco, 20 American goldfinch, 1 hairy woodpecker, 15 blue jays, 1 American tree sparrow, 8 wild turkeys, and so now Judy's list. She had 3 blue jays, 11 mourning doves, 25 chickadees, 1 junco, 1 red-tailed hawk, and 8 pine grosbeak. So I'll have to check that out and see what Jim's seen and she's seen, and see what I can add and not add. And then there was another. I think Ken, you know about this. Some lady forwarded to you first. Josie, are you? Yeah, you're on there, eh?
Yeah.
Josie, yes, you are. Sorry. You also sent, I guess, your list, and yeah, we were wondering whether or not you were in our zone, but I guess you're very close. Did you have your list with you? Did you want to read it, or?
Well, I've never done this. I just
Okay.
love birds. And when I got the email, I had no idea you were dividing up the areas. I just thought, okay,
Yes.
I'll just add whatever I see at my house.
Yep.
I'm at the 16th, south of the 16th by Cedar Point Road, so a little over from County Road 6.
Right.
And there wasn't much activity as usual. I was rather surprised, but there was 10 chickadees, 3 red-breasted nuthatches, 2 white-breasted nuthatch, 1 mourning dove, 2 goldfinches, 2 downy woodpeckers, 1 hairy woodpecker, and 2 black crows. So only 23 today, about 8 species, I guess. And that's just at my house because I didn't know what you were doing, and it just said count birds from what I read your email. So I don't know if it even fits in.
Next year.
Okay.
But it was fun. Thank you.
Great. Okay, thank you. Okay, the next area is, I guess, Susan and Ken. So I guess you're on, Ken. We'll let you do your spiel.
Okay, again, I'm going to try to share my screen again to show you the few photos. Christmas bird count is not a great day to take a bunch of photos, but we did take a couple. Let's see if I can find them. Wait a second here.
Oh, don't lose it.
Okay, everybody can see that and hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I felt proud of this sighting because this was on top of the grain elevators down by the Midland Harbor.
Wow.
So way up there, way far away, little dot, but I managed to spot it, and it's a Cooper's hawk. I think you can tell by the long neck, and I think it's a male Cooper's hawk. He was sitting up there. He was there at the end of the day too. I think he believes he owns that particular tower. So if you ever want to see a Cooper's hawk, you can probably go down there any day and find him. Couldn't get too close because that's all fenced off. But there he is, a male Cooper's hawk. But looked at him first and thought, well, can I turn him into a goshawk? But no, I don't think so. I think it's just a Cooper's hawk. And we have a brand new species that we're adding to the list. These are chimney doves, new type of species.
Oh, no.
It's another new type of dove, a chimney dove.
Good way to keep warm.
Yep. And this was our red-bellied woodpecker, nice looking bird, with nice male. And we had 5 pileates all told, I think.
Yeah.
So this was the one that posed the nicest for us.
Wow.
That's the same bird. And I think this was the highlight of the day for me. We went up way to the north end of our region. The end of Midland Point Road, and then you turn right. I forget what the name of that street is.
Lake.
Lakeview or Lake
Yeah,
something,
Lake
Lake something or other. And
Lakewood.
we came on this house that had all sorts of feeders out, and they had all sorts of Christmas decorations on. If you go up there, you can't miss it. They're not on the lakeside; they're on the other side. And they had about a couple of dozen redpolls coming to their feeders. And we spoke to the property owner, and it turns out it's Susan. I don't know her last name, but she's the daughter of Dan Webb, who is Dan Webb. He was a bit before my time in the club, but he's a life member of our club. And so Susan is his daughter. We met her daughter and her husband as well. And they were telling us that they get a lot of good birds at their feeders. They said they've been getting pine siskins there, and we hung around for a little while hoping pine siskins to turn up. But we did have 24 redpolls there, and I think a couple of woodpeckers. They get most of the woodpeckers. These are the redpolls. There's a couple of redpolls with a hairy woodpecker. So let's see, that's my photos, and I'll get back to got to get back to the meeting somewhere or other here. Let's see.
Zoom icon.
Just click on the Zoom icon at the bottom.
Oh, right. No, that's just giving me a menu here.
There, should bring the screen back.
Stop sharing.
Where's that?
Click on stop sharing.
I think I already did that, didn't I?
Oh.
Evidently not.
Sharing.
Christmas jokes.
Okay, stop sharing. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
Well, we've all got our
All these buttons for Pete's sake. That's not going to look good on the recording. Anyways, our list. 36 Canada geese, 7 mallards, 1 common goldeneye, and the funniest thing of the 3 hooded merganser, and these 3 hooded merganser, we were at the far end of Midland Bay. They did 2 circuits of Midland Bay, all around the bay, looking for some place to land, and they couldn't find anywhere. So then they took off. 22 wild turkey, 181 rock pigeons, 26 mourning doves, 23 ring-billed gull, 1 Cooper's hawk, 1 red-bellied woodpecker, 2 downy woodpecker, 6 hairy woodpecker, 5 pileated woodpecker, 5 blue jay, 9 American crow, 38 black-capped chickadee, 1 red-breasted nuthatch, 5 white-breasted nuthatch, 148 European starling, 7 house sparrow, 24 common redpoll, and 4 northern cardinal. And I think that's 22 species. I don't know how many individuals.
Jeez. Ken, what was your area?
It was from kind of Bay Street, about TRW, all around the bay, and then out Midland Point Road, Brunel Side Road to Highway 93. So in that kind of square there.
Okay, quite a variety of habitats and.
Yeah, and we tried to follow the water. We took one little walk into the woods and only got 1 pileated woodpecker, and then looked for feeders. And but I think we had a good day. Yeah, we did a lot of walking.
Yeah. Very good.
Okay, thank you, Ken. Next to present is I did Dorothy Harper. And did you want to tell your story, Dorothy, or?
I will tell our story.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know if I can bear to, but I think that we entered an alternate universe this morning. It was not, I don't know what happened. We fell down the rabbit hole. What can I say? We started out, it was a little bit late, and we had Penetang, all along Penetang Harbor and then around the other side. So most of Penetang. So we started at the dock lunch and looked around, looked out on the harbor, and there was practically no ice. There was very thin ice, but then the rest was clear, which is so contrary to what I've been hearing about Midland, that I think it really was an alternate universe. Anyway, we started there, went all along the lake shore up to, or the harbor shore up to the King's Wharf Theater, and then along and through Waypoint, and looked along Waypoint, and then down through Waypoint, and we were making our way along Sandy Bay Road, and our engine light came on our car.
Uh-oh.
So up until that time, and we saw quite a few feeders, and they were full, which is actually, we get a lot of empty feeders on the Christmas bird count, but these were full. However, we did not get, I mean, to say we didn't get anything, we got one ring-billed gull sitting in the water at the dock lunch, and then nothing in the whole area of the harbor.
Wow.
And
they were all in Midland, Dorothy.
I think they were. I can't, we're usually okay at this, but God. So we got one ring-billed gull, and then two more flew over. One of them was a gull species because I didn't quite identify it as a ring-billed. The other was a ring-billed. And then we got two crows, each one in a different tree. And then we got two chickadees. And believe it or not, that was it. 7 individuals, 3 species. And I can't believe it. And then at 10:45, our car engine light comes on. So we had to go home. The car was running very roughly. We weren't sure we were going to get home. But in fact, we did get home. So.
Well, that's good. If you're going to have a bad count, Dorothy, it might as well be in a bad year.
Yes, I was going to say this is the COVID count.
Just write this whole year off. Oh well, better things next year, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we're sitting here green with envy at all the counts that you guys are coming up with.
It's gonna be better.
Okay, thank you, Dorothy. The next group was headed up by, I guess, Judy McConnell. I don't believe she's on here, but she was adjacent to, I guess, Kate's area, down around, I guess, Elmville area. So I've got her results. She also didn't have a very good day. She has 3 species and 14 total. She has 5 blue jays, 5 chickadees, but she's got 4 grackles, and that's it. So that one didn't take long. And now we're on to one of the.
Dave, can I just interject for a second about Judy?
Yes.
Because Judy hasn't done a lot of Christmas bird counts, right?
Yes, I believe you're right.
She's done a couple, but usually the Christmas bird count conflicts with the rehearsals for the big choral Christmas celebration that goes on at St. Paul's United Church. We've run into this a couple of times, and Judy's very involved with St. Paul's United Church. And I just thought I'd let people know that choral celebration is going on tomorrow morning virtually. I always kind of help out with the choir, so I'll be involved with the choir there, and I'm pretty sure Judy will be as well, and maybe a couple of other Naturalist members. But if you go on to YouTube and search St. Paul's United Church, they'll put together a very nice Christmas cantata where Judy and I will be singing.
Okay, thank you, Ken. The next area is the area around Victoria Harbor, and Susan and Robert Codd did it. So I'll let you give your report, please.
Right, I'm gonna read the report. I'll let Sue read the report, but
If you can hear me, yeah.
Let me just give you the lead in. So I don't think birds really like Victoria Harbor because we didn't see very many, and the bay had decided to be all frozen up. But nevertheless, we started out and drove all the shoreline road, and we got out to Robbins Point, and we finally did find a little bit of open water. And I think there we got some 40 goldeneyes and a couple of hoodies. I think maybe 6 hoodies, and there was also some common mergansers out there. But that was it for waterfowl, and pretty much the rest of the day we beat around. I think we covered every road in Victoria Harbor at least once, and we even did a 4-kilometer walk along the Tay Trail, and that was probably the highlight for us because on the Tay Trail we got a flock of about 25 redpolls that flew right overhead. So that was exciting. And the only other highlight that I can think of, and nobody else has reported one yet, so keep my fingers crossed, was the brown creeper.
Oh.
So that was our big catch for the day.
Oh, nice.
So do you want to read the list
I
then?
can read the list, yeah. Okay, we had 3 American crows, 5 blue jays, 34 chickadees, 2 hairy woodpeckers, 6 white-breasted nuthatch, 46 geese. They were all sitting out on the ice, and that's a minimum count. The golden eyes, 40, 1 ring-billed gull, 6 hooded mergansers, 4 common mergansers, the brown creeper, 2 downy woodpeckers, 4 mourning doves, 1 goldfinch, and the 25 redpolls that flew over. So we got 15 species and 180 birds.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of the pack.
I'd have to tell people that Susan Codd is the world's champion at spotting brown creepers.
Bob spotted it.
Bob spotted this one. Wow.
Very Bob.
And that's all.
I see a
That's
real.
all thanks to a pressing call from nature, you know.
Too much information.
I just want to add, Bob, I guess Jim Charlebois, who lives in Victoria Harbor, I guess sent me an email saying that when he got back home, he seen, I guess, 1 grackle at his feeder. So
Okay.
I guess I will add that to your list if you don't mind. Okay.
We also live in Victoria Harbor, and I loaded up our feeders.
Yes.
And we saw absolutely no birds.
Birds don't like
in our
Victoria Harbor.
backyard in Victoria Harbor.
We came across lots of feeders and no birds around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were in Midland.
Hardly any squirrels, evidently.
You can say that.
I have a question.
No, we were,
lots of squirrels.
I don't know who covered our area, but on our way to drop off the report, we saw a red-tailed hawk by the Humane Society building. So I don't know whose area that is, but if they didn't have a red-tailed hawk, then perhaps we should add one.
Okay.
I have a question.
That's pretty close to Kathy's area, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, Jean has a question.
Okay.
That was maybe what, around 4 o'clock
Yeah.
or later anyway, so.
You'll have to jump in, Jean.
Oh, right. Well, actually, we've always enjoyed doing bird counts, but we haven't been doing that the last couple of years. But I was just wondering is it too warm today? And I can remember when it's been like, really, really cold, and but I'm just wondering if the birds are all up in the woods or where they were, because we've had sometimes like that, but with full bird feeders, they had.
I think we have to wait till Dave does all the compiling, because from what I hear, it
sounds
doesn't sound like it was that much worse or better than any other year, was it, Dave?
Just some of the areas.
It's really too early to tell, but I'm thinking that it's going to be okay. Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. Anyway.
But I think in general, like with that snow really socking in the afternoon, like the snow started before noon, around 11:45 where I was, and that kind of makes it tricky to. I think some of the birds go a little quiet then, and it makes it tricky to spot them.
Okay. The next area, area 16 of 18, is around, I guess, Port McNichol area. I don't think Anthony Taliana's with us, is he? I don't believe so. Okay. So he was going to be by himself, and then I guess midweek, I got an email like I get, every year, like last week, people. So this other fellow, his name was, I guess, Anthony Glenesk, Glenesk.
Oh, good birder.
Yeah, he lives in Victoria Harbor, so he says, but he's done the bird count for quite a few years. He normally does it on the Bruce, a place called Cape Croker. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it was
but
Cape
he has a
Croker
good
what he
friend
wrote.
that does the Cape Croker count, and Anthony goes over there to do it. Anthony lives in Coldwater.
Okay.
He's the fellow that has the white-winged dove coming to his backyard in Coldwater.
Oh, wow. Okay, so as a result of, I guess, the COVID, he didn't want to do it over there this year. He would rather do it more locally. So I hooked him up with, I guess, Anthony Taliana, and so that gave Anthony somebody with him, which was good. So I have their results, and I will read them. Okay, black-capped, I guess, chickadee 50, blue jays 7. His Cardinals 4, Goldfinch 1, Crows 4, Juncos 5, Mourning Dove 9, Rock Dove 16, White-breasted Nuthatch 7, Red-breasted Nuthatch 1, Downy Woodpecker 3, okay, Common Redpoll 15, Starlings 12, Red-tailed Hawk 1, Trumpeter Swan 7, Ring-billed Gull 1, Bald Eagle 1, Immature, I guess he's got, Immature, the Common Goldeneye 2, Pine Grosbeak 1, Common Merganser 6, and then he's got Unidentified Duck, so that would be duck species, and he's got 7. So that's a total of 21 species and 160 individuals. So that was Anthony around Port McNichol area.
Can I add to his list? I think we live in his area, and I know
Sure.
we've had affiliated woodpecker at our feeder today.
Affiliated? Okay. Just give me a second, just reading this on the list here. Okay. Area 17 is the area around Tiny Marsh. That's done every year by, I guess, Tim Tully and friends. So I've got his list here. I'll just read it. Okay. Okay. He's got starlings 296. American goldfinch 33. White-breasted nuthatch 17. Chickadees 61. That looks like, oh boy.
Red.
Okay, red-breasted nuthatch, sorry, 3. Okay, downy woodpecker 12. Blue jay 10. Mourning doves 44. Okay, hairy woodpecker 3. Rock doves, he's got 326. Gulls 3. Pine grosbeak 6, red-bellied woodpecker 1, northern cardinal 1, junco 2, crows 7, red-tailed hawk 2, ravens 3, northern harrier 1, house sparrow 3,
Ring-necked pheasant.
okay, yeah, ring-necked pheasant 1, golden
Hey, one got away.
Yeah.
Goldeneye 2 and wild turkey 38 and I think that's for a total of 871.
The winner.
So
Yeah.
we did well. Every year they manage to do very well.
He missed the snowy owl that's hanging around down there.
Yeah.
And I think we can give you that as a count week bird for that area. We saw it on Thursday.
Good. I wanted to raise a point about the count week birds. We had a pied-billed grebe right in the Wye River at the dam near the Wye Marsh.
I think the best bet is to send count week birds to David. And the
Okay.
trick with if everybody doesn't know about count week birds, count week birds are it's 3 days before and 3 days after the day of the count, and it doesn't matter the number. You don't count the number. It's just the species, and it doesn't go into our count. It's sort of appended to the count as what they call a placeholder. So it means that a pied-billed grebe gets listed. Maybe pied-billed grebe is pretty rare for a Christmas bird count, I would think, and it means the one was seen as a count week bird, not as part of our count. But so if you see anything in the next 3 days that you haven't heard listed on this count, send an email to me or to Dave, and then it can go as a count week bird. But it only goes that if nobody sees it on the day. If anybody had seen a pied-billed grebe today, then the one that Bob saw 2 days ago wouldn't signify.
He'd have to have an ice auger if he was around today.
Okay, and finally we're on the 18th and final area. So this is done by myself and Liz. And our area is, I guess, Subway Road to Elliott Side Road over to Vasey Road. And then, to, I guess, Old Fort Road, and then down to Vasey Road, and then, I guess, Highway 93. So, we got Blackcap, I guess, Chickadee 78, Mourning Dove 12, I guess Hairy Woodpecker 4, American Crow 3, Downy Woodpecker 6, White-breasted Nuthatch 6, I guess Canada Goose, one lonely goose just sitting in the field, so 1. Blue Jay 1, I guess Cardinal 4, I guess Pine Grosbeak 1, Junco 3, Wild Turkeys 2. Now the wild turkeys, it was on the south end of, I guess, Wood Road, I guess close to Vasey Road. It was on a farm, and there was all kinds of wild, domesticated chickens and whatnot by a barn.
And a rabbit.
And a rabbit hopping around.
And
there was 2 wild turkeys right amongst the group. And they were eating off the ground whatever everybody else was eating. It was just... They certainly stood out because they were a lot bigger than anything else. And then we had, I guess, a Cooper's Hawk 1, Rock Doves 8, Red-breasted Nuthatch 3, Pileated Woodpecker 3, a hawk species. It was sitting, I guess there was a ladder that went up the side of a silo, and it was on, I guess, Wood Road. And it was right beside, I guess, a corn crib, which every year when we go by, I guess the top of that silo is just loaded with rock doves, like maybe 50 or 100. But because, I guess, this hawk was sitting on the ladder, just down from the top of the silo, maybe 2 feet, there was no rock doves around. And we couldn't, identify the hawk, but maybe somebody's got an idea because it was sitting, on a ladder, near the top of a silo. Does that do anything for anybody, or
would it be possibly a merlin, Dave? Do you think, rather than a falcon, rather than a hawk?
I don't think so. He was pretty big and chunky. Like he was. Anyway, okay. So we've got a hawk species, and then we got starlings 25, we got goldfinch 9, and red-bellied his woodpecker 2. So we got 20 species and 173.
And thanks to Donna for adding to her.
And sorry.
Donna
And then I guess Donna Lister, when they got home, they also added to our list because they took a look at what was at their feeder, and I guess also send us a list of that. So we will have a look at that later and see what we can add to ours, which is great. So that's basically the end of the bird count. I'd like to thank everybody that took part. It was nice to have, like I say, probably 35, 40 people, to take part. That was great. It was a little bit, hairy this year to organize, but I think it all went well. And I think everybody was safe. And I think it went great. So I will, I guess, put it back to Susan again. Thank you.
But Dave, before we wrap up, can we maybe quickly hear from Nancy Ironside?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Nancy counted in Aurelia today. How things go over there, Nancy? Oh, you have to turn your mic back on, Nancy.
You're muted.
We don't know yet.
Okay, your mic's on now, Nancy.
Fern and I just did a little small area. Glenn Stronach did our main area. We didn't see very much.
No.
But we did have a white-throated sparrow.
Oh, good. Yeah. And I was going to suggest, usually we wrap up this with our Christmas party, and we fundraise for the owls. We're running, it looks like, hopefully if things go well this year, maybe we'll have a June potluck. What about Christmas in June? What about we do Christmas presents in June?
Once a year is enough for me.
Pardon?
I said once a year is enough for me.
Bah humbug.
I don't know. Think about it.
I'm wearing the Santa Claus.
We can do our mystery gift exchange when we can get together, and maybe that's in June. But anyway,
That sounds like a good idea.
Sure.
We'll think about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you wrap up, I just got to thank Dave for putting this on and doing a
No,
great
you
job.
can't do that. That's my job.
Really unusual kind of circumstance. I can say it too. You can repeat it. It's all right.
I second that opinion. Yes. Thank you very much, Dave. You did an amazing job, and I know it was harder this year. I think I'd like a round of applause for Dave, please.
All right. Thank you very much.
And you look so cute in your antlers.
Yeah. Well, it was my idea.
Well, anybody else have anything to add?
I just wanted to add one thing, Ken, to have Christmas in June is actually quite appropriate because despite 25th of December being the named date, scholarship is all in agreement that Jesus was most likely born in June or July. So having it in the summer is not inappropriate at all.
And if the Reverend Don Downer says something like that, then we know it's the gospel truth, right? Right, Don?
Gospel truth.
Well, one solstice is as good as the next.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll say goodnight then, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. And I'm not sure what's the status of the walks, Ken. Are they on hold, or can we still hold them?
Well, we don't have any planned, and I think when Christmas goes, you kind of figure most people don't do anything now until January, and there's a lot of talk about a general lockdown for all of southern Ontario, from say Boxing Day into the middle of January. And I haven't really looked at what all that means. Right now, you're still allowed an outdoor grouping at 25 people.
But isn't it supposed to be only essential things going on right now? We think it's essential, but
right now they say you only go out for essential purposes, but
yeah,
you're safer outside than anywhere else. And yet they do say go out for exercise and all that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would think if we do go into this general lockdown, then maybe we have to think twice about calling people together. But I think that's what they're talking about is kind of a short lockdown, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, just to keep the kids out of school and that type of thing. But after that, we had kind of hoped that at some point we'd be able to do a walk where we go out and see Jim Charlebois and Laurel Ironside band some trumpeter swans in Port Severn, and that could happen in January. But I think we'll just have to wait and see what develops in the province, and then go for that. And we've been kind of doing these walks, kind of looking at the weather report and trying to pick the better days, and we'll probably do that in the future. We may try some snowshoe ones or something like that. So we do. I think Bob and I hope to keep them going in the winter, but we'll just have to we'll just have to maybe wait till after Christmas and see what's possible.
Sounds wise. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, good night, everybody then, and everyone stay safe.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Merry Christmas.
Take care. Merry Christmas all.
Merry Christmas all. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Everybody, take care.